So even though the coronavirus is kind of taking over our daily lives, the NFL draft is still gonna go on, even if it's not, with fans. We continue as business as usual. So with the Raiders at 19, it's kind of tricky because I think their two major needs are wide receiver and cornerback. Um, and for cornerbacks, the top ones have left, and for wide receivers too. I really have them taking Justin Jeffords out of LSU, but that's like way too soon in the draft. So I have them trading back. So I have them trading back with the Ravens, who could use some defensive line help. And they're gonna take Javen McKinlaw. Um, Here's the trade I have. I have them trading because they're going up 9 spots. It's a little bit of a lot. I have them trading a third rounder. I mean, their third rounder and their fourth rounder. You can add a swap of like giving the Raiders would have to also trade like their fifth rounder as like kind of like a semi swap. Uh, but I just think you're moving up 9 spots. You got to give up not a lot, but some. You have to give up some draft compensation. Javelin Kinlaw is a 6'6", 310-pound guy, 300-pound defensive lineman or defensive edge from South Carolina. Last year he had 15 solo tackles, 20 assist tackles, 6 sacks. He had a right knee injury during a game against Vanderbilt, which is why he didn't play 3 games this year. He also had a right knee injury during the Senior Bowl, which is why he didn't uh, play in the combine or participate in the combine. He was named first team All American and first team All SEC this year. Um, he seems very good against the rush, but needs to work on his. He seems very good against the rush, but needs to work on his pass rushing. Um, he injury concerns are there, and he needs to work on his pass rushing. But he seems like a very good prospect. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the 20th pick in this draft. Xavier McKinley is a 6'1", 200-pound safety from Bama. He had a 4.63 40-yard dash. His bench press was 19, and his broad jump was 122, and his vertical was 36. He had 59 solo tackles, 36 assist tackles, 3 sacks, four forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and one of them was a pick six. He has good football IQ. He needs to work on when he needs to work on when in zone coverage, when to read the QB and when to play the wide receiver that's in the zone. But overall, he seems like a very good prospect. In my mock draft, the Eagles have traded up to the 14th pick with the Buccaneers. So this is the Buccaneers pick, which they have the 21st pick now. The Buccaneers are going to trade down again, this time with the Saints. The Buccaneers, I just think they're in total rebuild mode, so let's get as many picks as we can. And the Saints could use some linebacker help, and they can get that with this pick. The Buffalo Bills have the 22nd pick in this NFL draft. So the Bills are taking Jeff Gladnell out of TCAU. He's 5'10", 191 pounds. He's a cornerback who helps with their cornerback need. He's a 4.48 40-yard dash, 17 bench press, 37.5 vertical jump, 124 broad jump, a 7.26 time on the cone drill. You can't guard big wide receivers as he's not big enough. He's like only 5'10". He needs to work on positioning. He's a good blitzer and a tackler. And another thing he's good at is he's able to maintain when to read the QB's eyes when guarding a wide receiver in man coverage. So the Patriots have the 23rd pick in this draft, and I have them trading down just because I think they want to take Bryce Love from the quarterback out of Washington. and it's just a little too early in the draft for that. So the Dolphins, who need a running back, I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. So the Dolphins select DeAndre Swift. He's a 5'8", 212-pound running back from Georgia. He had a 4.48 40-yard dash, 35.53 vertical jump, 121.0 broad jump. His stats this year, he had 1,218 yards, 7 touchdowns, and all that was over 196 carries, which leads him to have a 6.2 average per carry. He's a pretty solid catching wide receiver or receiving running back, as he has 24 receptions. He had 24 receptions for 116 yards. He's not a running back who's able to get the small yardage on like scenarios like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, like that kind of stuff. But he seems to be like a big play kind of running back, where you can get like 10 yards on a carry. He is a good pass catcher out of the backfield, which is good as the league continues to evolve and it becomes more pass heavy in the NFL. So remember, from the 24th pick, this now goes to the Buccaneers. They're going to take an offensive lineman, Josh Jones. They need offensive line help. I mean, who in this league doesn't really? I mean, offensive lines are kind of a rarity. But this will help them start their rebuild in Tampa. Josh Jones, 6'5", 319-pound offensive lineman from Houston. At the combine, he did 24 bench press, 1.81 10-yard split. I think those are the two things that matter at the combine for offensive linemen. Basically, the general consensus on him is that he has the natural skills to play the position. He just needs a little work on his footwork and other correctable things, like how to step into offensive block position. And he seems just like not the perfect prospect, but all the issues seem like issues that can be solved by coaches